Chosen ones, let this be the voice that reaches into the deepest corners of your spirit, the message that arrives exactly at the turning point of your destiny. There are no coincidences when a calling as powerful as this one appears before you. The fact that your eyes are reading these words means something has shifted around you, above you, and within you. A movement that has been quietly forming behind the curtain of your life is finally ready to reveal itself. But understand this clearly. This message is not meant for everyone. It is meant only for those who have endured storms in silence, who have carried wounds no one ever saw, who have walked through chapters that would have broken others, but awakened something ancient within you. Chosen ones, before we go any further, hear this warning with absolute seriousness. Do not skip this video. Do not close it midway. Do not turn away for even a heartbeat. If you choose to leave, if you dare to walk away from what the universe is placing in front of you right now, regret will follow you like a shadow that never loosens its grip. The universe is not offering this message twice. It arrives once, at one exact moment, and if you ignore it, the consequences will echo in places you cannot imagine. This is not merely information. This is alignment. This is a turning of invisible gears that will not repeat themselves for your convenience. If you truly want to claim this message, show your readiness. Like this video, subscribe, activate the notification bell, and comment the word 77. That is the signal to the universe that you are not just listening, but stepping forward with intention. That simple action is a declaration that you are ready to receive the full weight of this message. It tells the universe that you are awake, aware, and willing to claim what has always been meant for you. Chosen ones, the path you have walked has not been soft. You have been misunderstood, underestimated, and challenged by people who never took the time to see your real depth. Some even dared to test you at the moment when your life was preparing to shift into a new realm of strength. They thought your silence was weakness. They mistook your patience for surrender. They believed you were alone, unaware that unseen forces were aligning around you, shaping a destiny that no human could interrupt. And that is why you cannot afford to miss any part of what is coming next. Every sentence, every reveal, every truth that will be spoken carries power, designed specifically for your current crossing. If you skip this, you are not simply missing a message. You are stepping away from a doorway, one that will not remain open forever. This is not a chapter you can skim. This is not a moment you can postpone. This is the kind of moment that shifts timelines. Chosen ones, take a breath and let your spirit settle. Feel the energy pulling you inward, as if the universe itself is whispering for you to pay attention. What you are about to hear will explain why certain people dared to challenge you, why they picked the worst possible moment to do it, and why the consequences of their actions are already beginning to unfold. You will understand why your silence was never weakness, why your patience was a weapon, and why your journey has been guided in ways you never fully realized. But know this, if you stop listening now, if you step away even for a moment, the message will lose its alignment with your spirit. The guidance waiting for you will slip into the distance, and you will be left wondering why certain doors never opened, why certain shifts never happened, why life felt paused at the edge of change. Stay, be present. Do not let fear or distraction steal what is meant for you. Chosen ones, the universe has orchestrated this meeting with precision. This message found you because it belongs to you. And if you are brave enough to continue, then prepare yourself. Everything that was hidden, is about to be revealed. Part 1. The moment they mistook your silence for weakness. Chosen ones. Every destiny-shifting story begins with a misunderstanding, and yours is no different. There comes a moment in every powerful soul's journey when someone looks at you and completely misreads who you are. They see only the surface of your life, the calm expression you wear, the quiet way you walk through chaos, and they assume that you are easy to challenge, easy to provoke, easy to break. They never pause long enough to realize that silence is not the absence of strength. Silence is the echo of discipline, depth, and a power that no longer needs to announce itself. You have carried storms inside you that would have shattered those who judge you. You have walked through seasons where every step felt like a battle against shadows that tried to swallow your spirit whole. Yet even then, you kept going. You kept rising. You kept showing up to a world that never knew how much courage it took for you to simply breathe. And because you learned to move with grace through pain, because you learned to speak softly even when the world roared against you, someone out there mistook your softness for fragility. Chosen ones, this is where their mistake began. They approached you with boldness that they did not earn. They tested boundaries they never had permission to cross. They challenged you during a moment when the universe was already shifting in your favor, unaware that the worst time to go against a chosen soul is the exact moment when unseen forces begin rearranging your path. They could not see the invisible shield around you, the protection woven from every hardship you survived. They did not know that your quietness was the armor that kept you grounded, centered, and aligned. People who live on the surface cannot comprehend the depth of someone who has lived in the valleys of their own soul. They cannot fathom the resilience of someone who has carried burdens with grace. They look at your calmness and assume you do not know how to fight. They look at your silence and assume you do not know how to stand your ground. They look at your patience and assume you do not have limits. But they are wrong. Chosen ones, what they forget is that a soul that has survived its own storms does not fear external ones. A heart that has endured the weight of disappointment learns how to grow stronger under pressure. A spirit that has rebuilt itself again and again becomes nearly unshakable. When someone like that is challenged, they do not collapse. They awaken. They rise with a force that was dormant but never gone. You have always been the kind of soul that people underestimate, not because you lack power, but because your power does not scream. It moves like a tide, silent, steady, unstoppable. And because you do not flaunt your strength, those who lack understanding assume you do not have any. This is why they approached you without caution. This is why they believed they could disturb your peace without consequence. This is why they stepped into your life boldly, thinking you would bow, break, or retreat. But they could not see what the universe already knew. This was the wrong moment for anyone to challenge you. The energy around you has been shifting, aligning, rising like a tide ready to lift you into a new chapter. You may not have seen the full picture yet, but the transformation has already begun. And when a chosen soul is standing at the threshold of breakthrough, any attack against them becomes an attack against the very forces protecting them. This is why their challenge will not end the way they expected. This is why their attempt to shake you will only shake their own foundation. Chosen ones, understand this truth deeply. The moment they misjudged you was the moment their own downfall began. Not because you wished it, not because you fought them, but because the universe does not take lightly when a chosen soul is targeted at the exact moment destiny is unlocking. You were not weak. You were ascending. You were not vulnerable. You were transforming, and anyone who dared to stand against you during that sacred shift unknowingly position themselves against a rising force far beyond their comprehension. This first part of your story is not about the pain they caused. It is about the awakening they triggered. And that awakening begins now. Part 2. When their confidence collides with your destiny. Chosen ones, there is a strange irony in the way life unfolds. Those who know the least about you often feel the most entitled to challenge you. They walk into your path with a confidence that does not belong to them, carrying assumptions built on shadows instead of truth. They think they understand your story because they witnessed a single chapter. They believe they have measured your strength because they saw you standing still, unaware that stillness is not surrender. Stillness is alignment. Stillness is preparation. Stillness is the deep breath before a soul like yours rises higher than ever before. And this is where their greatest mistake begins. They challenge you during a moment when destiny itself is turning in your favor. Chosen ones, people who lack depth, cannot recognize the silent transformations happening within you. They do not see how far your spirit has traveled. They do not feel the heaviness of the nights you endured alone. They do not sense the way your heart rebuilt itself from ruins no one else witnessed. They look at you and see what is visible, but the most powerful parts of you have never lived on the surface. You are someone forged in unseen battles. You are someone sculpted by trials that would have crushed others. You are someone who learned to carry quiet strength, not because the world was kind to you, but because you refused to let pain define you. And so, when a person steps into your journey with arrogance, assuming they can intimidate you, control you, or shake your foundation, they are stepping into a field of energy they do not understand. They think they are confronting a person, but they are colliding with your destiny. They are pushing against forces that have protected you, guided you, and lifted you through every hardship you survived. They have no idea that the soul they are trying to provoke is a soul that has stood in storms far more powerful than their ego. Chosen ones, the universe has a timing for everything, and its timing is never accidental. There are moments when your spirit is being elevated, when your path is being rearranged, when your strength is being amplified. These moments may feel quiet from the outside, but inside your destiny there is movement, massive, unstoppable movement. When someone decides to challenge you during this sacred shift, they unknowingly place themselves in opposition to something far greater than their own intentions. They challenge you at the worst possible moment for themselves, not because you are fragile, but because you are rising, not because you are lost, but because your alignment is becoming clearer, not because you are powerless, but because your power is no longer sleeping. Look back at your journey, chosen ones. Every time you were underestimated, every time someone doubted you, every time you were quietly dismissed, something inside you awakened. It was never loud, it was never dramatic, but it was real. Your strength grew in the silence, your resilience sharpened in the shadows, your intuition deepened in the loneliness. You are becoming more than what they could ever perceive. So when someone comes into your life and dares to provoke you, not realizing the magnitude of your evolution, they are stepping into a fate they cannot escape. They believe they are the ones in control, but the moment they challenge a chosen soul, the balance of life shifts. Their actions set consequences into motion, consequences that follow them, not because you seek revenge, but because the universe protects what aligns with purpose. Chosen ones, understand this deeply. Your silence is not their advantage. It is their warning. Your patience is not permission, it is grace. And when grace is ignored, consequences arrive. The person who dared to test you thought they chose the right moment, In truth, they chose the absolute worst moment, because they challenged you right when your destiny was strengthening its walls around you. They misread your calm as weakness, when it was actually the calm before your expansion. They believed you were alone, when unseen forces were gathering in your favor. They believed they could shake you when it was you, all along, who would shake their illusion of control. Their confidence was an illusion. Your rising is the truth. And soon, chosen ones, they will understand the cost of challenging a soul, protected by its own purpose. Part 3. The unseen forces that rise when you are wronged. Chosen ones, there is a truth woven into the fabric of life. A truth so subtle that many never recognize it until it is too late. The universe does not remain silent when a chosen soul is treated unjustly. It watches, it listens, it measures every intention, every word, every action taken against a heart that has already carried more than most people will ever understand. And when someone steps into your life with the intent to disrupt your peace, to tear down what you have built, or to challenge you in a moment of transformation, the universe responds in ways far beyond human comprehension. This is where the story shifts, chosen ones. The person who dared to challenge you believed they were operating in isolation. They believed their actions existed only in the realm of the physical world, where ego and pride guide human behavior. They imagined that what they did to you would fade, unnoticed and unaccounted for, but they overlooked the oldest law of existence. Nothing done with harmful intent ever disappears into silence. Every action leaves a mark. Every intention sets a chain of events into motion. Every injustice awakens forces that cannot be seen, but are undeniably real. You may not have spoken. You may not have fought back. You may not have defended yourself in ways the world could witness. But your silence was not emptiness. It was a signal. It was the universe's invitation to intervene on your behalf. Chosen ones, when a soul like yours is targeted, everything around you shifts. Paths rearrange, energies tighten, protection strengthens. Not because you asked for revenge, but because the universe understands balance better than any human being ever will. It knows how to restore what has been disrupted. It knows how to return what has been taken. It knows how to expose what has been hidden. And the most powerful part of this truth is simple. You never needed to fight. Your spirit did the speaking for you. The universe is not blind to the weight you have carried. It has witnessed every moment you held yourself together. While your world was falling apart, it has seen the times you chose kindness, even when cruelty was easier. It has felt the depth of your restraint when someone pushed you to your limits. You have earned a protection that others do not understand, because they never walked through the fires that shaped you. So when someone decided to challenge you, thinking your quietness meant vulnerability, they unknowingly awakened the very forces that exist to guard your journey. They thought they were confronting a person. They were actually confronting destiny itself. And destiny does not lose. Chosen ones, imagine a scale held by unseen hands. Every act of malice against you tips that scale, not in your disfavor, but in your favor. Not because the universe seeks punishment, but because it seeks equilibrium. If someone tries to dim your light, life will eventually dim theirs in response. If someone tries to block your path, life will eventually block theirs. If someone tries to bring chaos into your world, life will eventually bring clarity into yours and confusion into theirs. Not by your doing, not by your request, but by universal law. This is why you must never mistake their temporary laughter for victory. Never assume their loudness means strength. Never think that your silence means defeat. What feels unbalanced in the moment is already being corrected behind the scenes. what seems unfair right now is already being rewritten into justice. Chosen ones, you have something many do not. A soul that speaks even when your lips say nothing. A life that is watched over even when you feel alone. A destiny that defends itself even when you feel tired. Forces beyond your sight rise when you are mistreated, and these forces do not forget. They do not delay. They do not overlook what was done. And soon, the one who challenged you will come to realize that they did not choose the wrong words or the wrong action. They chose the wrong soul. And when a chosen soul is targeted, the universe does not stay silent. It rises, it shields, it restores, it turns every injustice into a turning point. This is not the end of the story, chosen ones. This is the beginning of their realization and your elevation. Part 4. When their own actions become the architect of their fall. Chosen ones, there comes a moment in every story of injustice where life begins to fold back on itself, revealing truths that were once hidden behind shadow and pride. This is the moment when the one who dared to challenge you, the one who confidently stepped into your path, thinking they held the upper hand, begins to feel the quiet shift of consequences awakening at their feet. And it never happens loudly. It never happens with warning. It begins softly, almost unnoticeably, like the first crack in a wall that once seemed unbreakable. The person who set themselves against you did not understand the nature of the energy they were playing with. They believed that their cleverness, their pride, their boldness would protect them. They believed that they could tear you down without tearing something within themselves. They imagined that their intentions would simply drift into the air and disappear without echo. But the universe has always had a law older than any written word. What you send out folds back toward you, reshaped by forces far beyond human control. And when someone challenges a chosen soul, the return is never gentle. Chosen ones, life has a way of exposing arrogance through the unraveling of its own plans. It does not strike all at once. Instead, it begins with small shifts. Doors that once opened easily begin to resist. Opportunities that were previously abundant start to fade. Connections they relied on begin to loosen, and the confidence they once carried starts to feel like a weight instead of a weapon. It is not punishment, it is alignment. It is not cruelty, it is correction. The universe cannot allow imbalance to stand. You did not ask for their downfall. You did not wish for their struggle. You simply lived with integrity while they acted without it. Yet life, in its wisdom, cannot let a chosen soul be targeted without restoring balance to the field. So, their actions begin to turn inward, slowly shaping consequences that feel eerily connected to choices they believed would never matter. Where they once felt powerful, they now feel uncertain. Where they once stood firm, they now stumble. Where they once believed they were controlling the situation, they now sense that something is slipping from their grasp. This is not happening because you retaliated. It is happening because the universe refused to remain neutral. Chosen ones, understand this deeply. The universe does not return harm as harm. It returns harm as understanding. It returns harm as awareness. It returns harm as the crumbling of illusions. For some, that collapse feels like failure. For others, it feels like awakening. But for the one who challenged you, it feels like confusion because they cannot trace the source of the shift. They cannot connect their diminishing fortune to their arrogance. They cannot see how challenging a soul in alignment triggered their own imbalance. But life sees what people ignore. Life sees the intention behind the words. Life sees the truth behind the actions. Life sees the energy behind the challenge. And when someone moves against a chosen soul, their steps become unsteady not because life wants to destroy them, but because they walked into a force designed to elevate you, not them. There is something profoundly poetic in the way this unfolds. While they were trying to disrupt your journey, the universe was preparing to strengthen it. While they attempted to dim your path, the universe was quietly brightening it. While they believed they were taking something from you, the universe was already replacing it with something that belongs to your destiny. And here is the part they never expect. Their downfall does not come from your hands. It comes from their reflection. Every harmful intention they threw toward you returns to them as a mirror. Every attempt to undermine you becomes a lesson they must face. Every step they took against you becomes a step away from their own stability. They begin to realize that the challenge they created was not against you. It was against the very balance that governs life. Chosen ones, your strength was never the threat. Your silence was, because silence speaks to forces they cannot control. And now, as their own actions begin to dismantle the foundation they once trusted, they will look around and realize that their greatest mistake was not underestimating your power. Their greatest mistake was assuming the universe would ignore what they did. They will learn this truth slowly, painfully, undeniably. When you challenge a chosen soul, at the moment destiny is rising, you do not trigger their fall. You trigger your own. Part 5. Your power is revealed through what you choose not to do. Chosen ones, one of the most extraordinary truths about your journey is this: your strength has never been defined by what you destroy, but by what you refuse to destroy. Your power is not measured by retaliation, by counterattack, or by proving yourself to those who choose to misunderstand you. Your power is revealed in the restraint you hold, the dignity you protect, and the way you continue forward without allowing bitterness to stain your spirit. And this quiet, steady, unbreakable discipline is exactly what the one who challenged you could never comprehend. They expected a reaction. They expected chaos. They expected you to fall into their pattern, their energy, their level. But chosen ones, you were never meant to mirror the darkness placed before you. You were meant to rise above it. There is a unique kind of strength in a soul that does not answer provocation with provocation. It is the strength of someone who understands that not every battle deserves engagement. Not every insult requires acknowledgement, and not every challenger is worth a single drop of your energy. You have learned this through pain, through repetition, through seasons where responding would have wounded you more deeply than staying silent. And because of this, your self-control has become a shield far more powerful than any weapon. The person who dared to challenge you never recognized this truth. They believed your silence was weakness, unaware that silence is often the greatest declaration of power a chosen soul can make. Silence means you are not moved. Silence means you are not threatened. Silence means their chaos could not reach the deepest part of you. Silence means you are anchored in something they cannot touch. Chosen ones, you carry a kind of wisdom that many never develop. The understanding that not every act of aggression requires a counterattack. You know that life itself has a way of correcting what is out of balance. You know that responding with anger only feeds what was meant to fade. You know that defending yourself against falsehoods only gives power to lies. And so, instead of reacting, you chose to continue forward, allowing the universe to speak for you. And this decision, this refusal to descend to their level, was the moment your victory began. Because when a chosen soul refuses to engage in battle, the battle collapses. When you do not feed the conflict, the conflict loses its strength. When you do not return harm with harm, the energy they tried to send your way becomes trapped in their own space, turning back toward them in ways they never prepared for. This is why your restraint is so powerful. This is why your gentleness is so threatening. This is why your composure is so unsettling to those who operate from ego. The one who challenged you expected a storm. Instead, they encountered a mountain. A mountain remains unmoved regardless of how fiercely the wind tries to break it. And because you stood firm, unmoved, unshaken, the universe had the space to rise on your behalf. It defended you not through violence, but through alignment. Not through chaos, but through clarity. Not through destruction, but through elevation. Chosen ones understand how rare this ability is. The ability to choose peace when war is offered. The ability to choose silence when provocation surrounds you. The ability to choose dignity when disrespect tries to pull you downward. This is not weakness. This is mastery. This is what separates you from those who challenged you. They acted out of impulse. You acted out of intention. They acted from ego. You acted from purpose. They acted to harm. You acted to preserve your path. And because of this, the universe placed the distance between you and the destructive patterns they tried to drag you into. Your refusal to retaliate became the very force that protected you. While they believed you were passive, you were actually powerful because you refused to let someone else's brokenness dictate your behavior. Your silence was not surrender. Your silence was wisdom. Your silence was the declaration that you will not waste divine energy on battles beneath your calling. Chosen ones, the moment you chose not to fight them was the moment the universe began fighting for you. And in time, even they will realize that the greatest mistake they made was assuming that your restraint meant defeat. What they never understood is that your identity was never shaped by their challenge. Your identity has always been shaped by your purpose. And nothing they do, not their words, not their actions, not their assumptions, can disrupt a destiny that is protected by the very force of the universe itself. Part 6. The moment they realize they challenged the wrong soul. Chosen ones, there is a point in every story where clarity strikes like lightning, illuminating the truth that was hidden behind pride, ego, and false confidence. For the one who dared to stand against you, that moment of clarity does not come gently. It arrives slowly at first, like a whisper they try to ignore, and then it grows louder, heavier, undeniable. It is the moment they realize that the person they challenged was not who they assumed you were. It is the moment they understand that their actions were not just reckless, they were self-destructive. For so long, they walked with the belief that they could provoke you without consequence. They convinced themselves that you were fragile, unaware, defenseless. They saw your softness and called it weakness. They saw your silence and called it surrender. They saw your patience and called it fear. They thought they knew you, but they were not seeing you. They were seeing their own projection, their own insecurities, their own misunderstanding of what true strength looks like. And now, as the universe begins tightening its grip around the imbalance they created, they begin to see your spirit for what it truly is: enduring, powerful, ancient in its wisdom, and protected in ways they never imagined. Chosen ones, when life begins revealing the truth, the one who challenged you will feel it not as punishment, but as awakening. Their certainty cracks. Their confidence trembles. Their assumptions dissolve. Suddenly, the story they crafted about you no longer makes sense. Their narratives fall apart in their hands. They begin to see the depth they overlooked, the resilience they underestimated, the grace they mistook for weakness. It is a strange feeling for them, this realization, because it forces them to look at themselves instead of at you. They start to understand that the resistance they face now is not coming from you. It is coming from their own choices. They begin noticing that opportunities which once flowed easily now seem to hesitate. Doors that once opened without effort now remain closed. People who once supported them now distance themselves without explanation. None of this is revenge. None of this is your doing. It is simply the universe restoring balance, ensuring that every action finds its rightful destination. And as this restoration unfolds, they begin to understand something profound. You were never the threat. You were the turning point. Chosen ones, the universe has always been on your side, even in the moments you felt invisible, misunderstood, or unprotected. Every hardship you endured became part of your shield. Every disappointment strengthened your intuition. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. You have been growing silently, rising internally, preparing for higher paths long before they attempted to hinder you. So when they challenged you, they were not just challenging a person. They were challenging all the forces that shaped you. They were stepping into a battle they could never win because they were fighting against your purpose, your evolution, your divine timing. Their moment of realization comes with a weight they cannot escape. It arrives with the understanding that their downfall began not when they confronted you, but when they underestimated you. They did not know your history. They did not know your endurance. They did not know the depth of what you have survived. And they certainly did not know that the universe protects those who walk with sincerity, patience, and integrity. What they thought was an advantage becomes their undoing. What they believed was control becomes confusion. What they assumed was victory becomes regret. And woven through all of this is a single unmistakable truth. They challenged you at the worst possible time, right when your destiny was awakening. Chosen ones, there is a quiet power in watching someone realize the gravity of their mistake. Not because you take pleasure in their struggle, but because you finally understand that nothing done to you has ever been wasted. Every attempt to harm you becomes a lesson for them. Every act against you becomes a doorway for your growth. Every challenge becomes evidence that you were chosen for a higher path. Their realization is not your triumph. Your rising is. And as they confront the truth of who you really are, the universe positions you exactly where you were always meant to be. Untouched, unshaken, and undeniably ascending. Part 7. The rise of your destiny and the decline of their illusion. Chosen ones. Every story has a turning point where the unseen becomes undeniable, where what was whispered by intuition becomes visible in reality. This is the moment when your journey begins to shift from quiet endurance to powerful elevation. And it is also the moment when the one who challenged you finally grasped the truth they refused to see. They were never standing above you. They were standing in the path of a rising force that was never meant to be stopped. This final unfolding is not loud. It does not roar with revenge or thunder with aggression. Instead, it arrives with the graceful inevitability of a dawn breaking across the sky. Unstoppable, illuminating, and impossible to ignore. You rise not because they fell. You rise because it was time. The universe has watched every step you took, especially the ones you took in silence. It saw the weight you carried quietly, the storms you walked through alone, the moments where you held yourself together, even as everything around you tried to tear you apart. Those struggles were not wasted. They were the sacred shaping of your character, the forging of your resilience, the strengthening of your spirit. And now, chosen ones, the universe begins to repay what life once took from you. Opportunities appear in places where there were once only walls. People enter your life who align with your purpose rather than distract you from it. Pathways open that were previously blocked by forces you cannot understand. What once required struggle now begins to flow. What once felt unreachable now begins to draw closer with every breath. This is not luck. This is restoration. This is alignment. This is destiny stepping out of the shadows to walk beside you. And as you rise, the one who challenged you watches from a distance, grappling with the consequences of their own actions. They begin to notice that the energy they used against you has looped back into their life. They begin to see that the doors shutting for them are the same doors the universe is opening for you. They begin to understand that while they tried to dim your path, they unknowingly brightened the way forward for you. Their illusion collapses. Your truth emerges. Chosen ones, the beauty of your rise is that it requires no announcement. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You do not need to justify your journey. You do not need to explain the blessings that are beginning to surround you. Your elevation speaks louder than any defense you could ever make. Your transformation is the response to every doubt they cast upon you. The person who once challenged your worth now faces a truth they cannot escape. You were never meant to lose. You were never meant to fall. You were never meant to remain in the shadows. You were meant to rise. And you rise not with pride but with purpose. You rise not with vengeance but with vision. You is not to show them who you are, but to become who you were always meant to be. Chosen ones, your journey from this point forward will feel different. Lighter, clearer, more aligned. You will feel the universe guiding you with a precision you have never known before. The obstacles that once held you back will begin to dissolve. The burdens that once felt overwhelming will begin to lift. The confusion that clouded your spirit will begin to fade. Because this chapter was never about their challenge. It was about your awakening. And now that you are awake, fully, deeply, powerfully awake, nothing formed against you can hold, nothing spoken against you can wound, and nothing sent against you can succeed. The universe has spoken on your behalf. Your path has been cleared. Your spirit has been strengthened. Your destiny has been activated. And the one who challenged you will spend a long time understanding this truth. They did not simply choose the wrong moment. They chose the wrong soul. You are rising now, chosen ones, higher than they ever expected, stronger than they ever imagined, and protected in a way they will never comprehend. Closing. The rising of a soul they never saw coming. Chosen ones, as we reach the final arc of this message, let your spirit absorb the truth that has been echoing beneath every word. You were never the weak one, never the fragile one, never the lost one. You were the rising one. You were the unfolding one. You were the soul being shaped in silence, while others mistook your stillness for surrender. And now, the story they wrote about you no longer holds any power, because you have outgrown every version of yourself that they ever tried to diminish. This is the moment when your journey begins to shift from surviving to ascending. You are stepping into a season where the universe no longer asks you to carry what once crushed you. It asks you only to rise, steadily, boldly, without apology. Everything that was meant to break you is now becoming the foundation beneath your feet. Everything that attempted to block you is now clearing a path for your emergence. Everything that challenged you is now revealing its purpose, to awaken the strength that was waiting inside you all along. Chosen ones, understand the weight of this truth. Your destiny did not shrink when they challenged you. Your destiny expanded. While they were focused on hurting you, the universe was focused on preparing you. While they were plotting against your peace, life was aligning opportunities around you. While they were underestimating your worth, existence itself was amplifying your purpose. You were never alone, even in the moments when silence felt like abandonment. You were being watched, protected, guided, and shaped for something far greater than the conflict they tried to trap you in. And as your rise begins, the one who challenged you will come to understand a truth that they were never prepared to face. Their actions did not weaken you. Their actions revealed you. Their attempts to disrupt your path only helped carve a clearer one. Their desire to see you fall only ensured that your ascent would become undeniable. The universe will show them this, not with force, not with fury, but with clarity. They will see your growth. They will witness your elevation. They will watch as your life unfolds in ways that silence every doubt they ever cast upon you. And they will understand, slowly and painfully, that the moment they tried to challenge you was the moment their illusion collapsed. Chosen ones, let this bring you peace. Not pride, not anger, not revenge, but peace. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to argue your worth. You do not need to revisit the pain. Your rising is your answer. Your elevation is your explanation. Your transformation is your testimony. Every blessing approaching you is the universe's way of saying, I saw everything, and I did not forget. From this point forward, walk with a confidence that does not shout but radiates. Walk with a strength that does not threaten but commands. Walk with a grace that does not bend to others' judgments, but honors your own evolution. You have survived storms that were meant to extinguish your flame, yet here you stand, brighter, stronger, anchored in truth. Your journey is not defined by the challenge. Your journey is defined by the rise that followed. And now, chosen ones, step into your rising without fear. Step into your becoming without hesitation. Step into your destiny with the certainty of someone who finally understands that the universe did not choose you by accident. You were shaped for this. You were destined for this. You were built for this. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them learn. Because the soul they once underestimated is the soul they will never forget. Your rise begins now.